A handshake to remind the world of a long-standing relationship between the US and Qatar, and to seal the deal for a new fleet of fighter jets. The defense minister signed a $12 billion deal for 36 fighter jets from the US. At the same time, 2 US Navy vessels docked in Doha to take part in a joint military exercise with the Qatari Navy. The military show of force comes days after US President Donald Trump appeared to brand Qatar as a state sponsor of extremism, charges vigorously denied by Qatari leaders. A flurry of diplomatic efforts is trying to solve the crisis between Qatar and several neighbors and other Arab countries, including Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates. Turkey's Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu met the Emir of Qatar in Doha before heading for more talks to Kuwait, which is also acting as mediator. Cavusoglu said his appearance wasn't a signal of support for one side or another. Added to the mix, comments from the US Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson. Appearing before a Senate committee in Washington, he was asked about listing the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization.
The Muslim Brotherhood, which I think purportedly would have up to 5 million members, has become somewhat segregated within its own ranks, with a number of organizations within Muslim Brotherhood continuing to commit themselves to violence and terrorism. We have designated those organizations. At the top of the quality chain, if I can call it that, there are elements of Muslim Brotherhood that have now become part of governments. There are members of parliament in Bahrain that are parts of government. There are members in Turkey that are parts of government. And so in designating the Muslim Brotherhood in its totality as a terrorist organization, I think you can appreciate the complexities this enters into our relations with then the government of Bahrain, the government and other governments.
Qatar has given its backing to the Muslim Brotherhood in the past. One of the demands of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain is that the support stops. The fact the Americans don't appear ready to move to a more hardline stance could be seen as a blow to their negotiating position. In Morocco, the new French President Emmanuel Macron said he was stepping up his efforts to reach a settlement.
The King of Morocco has had the chance to talk to several of the parties involved in the crisis. I myself will have a chance over the next few days to speak again to the leaders of Saudi Arabia and the UAE, whose Crown Prince will visit me in Paris next week. And I'll speak again to the Emir of Qatar, among others.
And the UN is hoping there can be a regional solution.
The Secretary General spoke today on the phone with the Deputy Prime Minister of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Sabah, following a number of other contacts to express his full support for Kuwait's efforts to de-escalate tensions and to promote effective dialogue.
Qatar is looking for workarounds after several countries cut off air and sea routes to the Gulf state. Cargo ships continue to arrive via Oman with plans for daily trips. For the moment, Qatar's leaders insist they are not seeing any shortages. The partial blockade imposed by Saudi Arabia and its allies appears to be having little effect. Mohammed, Vall, Al Jazeera.